Ever wondered how a king could trigger a civil war that would change the course of his nation's history forever? Today we're embarking on a journey through time, back to the early 17th century to the life of King Charles I. Born into royalty, young Charles ascended to the throne amid a flurry of expectations. However, his reign quickly became a hotbed of controversy, sowing the seeds for the English Civil War. To understand the reasons behind the English Civil War, we must delve deeper into the reign of Charles I. Charles I's reign was marked by constant clashes with Parliament, but what was the root cause of this discord? Let's step back in time to the 17th century when Charles I ascended to the throne. He was a monarch who strongly believed in the divine right of kings, a belief that kings derived their authority from God, not from their subjects. This concept, however, didn't sit well with the English Parliament. The first major point of contention arose over the issue of taxation. Charles I believed that as a king, he had the right to raise taxes without Parliament's consent. But Parliament, the representative body of the English people, vigorously disagreed. This dispute led to several bouts of tension, with Charles I even dissolving the Parliament several times. Furthermore, Charles I's religious policies added fuel to the fire. He wished to move the Church of England towards a more ceremonial style of worship, which was not favored by the predominantly Puritan Parliament. His attempt to impose this style of worship in Scotland led to the Bishops' Wars, further straining his relationship with Parliament. These disputes over taxation and religious freedoms were not just minor disagreements, they were the sparks that ignited a dangerous powder keg. The English society was becoming increasingly divided, with the monarch and Parliament representing opposing sides. As tensions escalated, the stage was set for a conflict that would shake England to its core. This was the beginning of a turbulent period, a time that would lead to the cataclysmic English Civil War. How did the discontent during Charles I's reign explode into a full-blown civil war? This is where our story takes a dark turn. The English Civil War, a series of armed conflicts and political problems, was ignited by the deep-seated resentments between Charles I and Parliament. The war kicked off in earnest in 1642 with the Battle of Edgehill. It was a bloody conflict, neither side gaining a decisive victory. But it set the tone for the war, a struggle not only for political power, but also for the very soul of the nation. Prominent figures played crucial roles in this bloody ballet. On one side, the royalists, led by Charles himself, and his nephew Prince Rupert of the Rhine, a charismatic and daring military leader. On the other side, the parliamentarians with pivotal figures like Oliver Cromwell and Thomas Fairfax. As the war raged on, Charles I's role became increasingly fraught. His decisions, often seen as high-handed, only served to alienate him further from his subjects. This culminated in his trial for high treason and his eventual execution in 1649. The execution of a king was a momentous event, unheard of at the time, and it sent shockwaves through the nations of Europe. The monarchy was abolished, and a republic, known as the Commonwealth of England, was declared. Charles I's execution marked the end of a tumultuous period in English history, but his legacy continues to shape our world today. So, was Charles I a failed king who brought about his own downfall, or a martyr who stood up for his beliefs? This question has stirred historians for centuries. Some view him as an ineffective leader, whose high-handedness sparked the English Civil War. Others consider him a principled monarch, defending his divine rights against an increasingly assertive Parliament. Whether you see him as a villain or a hero, there's no denying that Charles I's reign had a profound impact on England and the world. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment with your own thoughts on Charles I.